welcome to this tutorial to accompany week 8, the final week of my picnic on the beach blanket. I'm Eleonora, the designer behind Coastal Crochet, and all the details about this blanket can be found over on my website www.coastalcrochet.com. So this tutorial is to accompany rounds 6, 12 and 13 in week 8, and it's these rounds in our border where we are creating these lovely horizontal chain effects. And this is achieved by simply working into the one very back loop only of the half treble US half double crochet stitches. It's really simple, it's really effective, and I'll show you how it's done. So here I am just finishing round 5, which is a round of ordinary half treble US half double crochet stitches, and I can show you how we get the 3 strands loops at the top of the stitch. So when you work a half treble US half double crochet, it's yarn over hook, insert your hook into the space or stitch, yarn over, pull through to the front, and then it's yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And in doing this, you're creating the 3 strands to the top of the stitch. So if you look here, we have the 2 traditional ones that look like the V. That's how a traditional crochet stitch looks. But if you just tilt your work to the back, you can see we have this extra strand down here as well. And that's what makes half treble US half double crochet stitches unique. And it's this very back strand right at the back of the work that we're going to be crocheting into on rounds 6, 12 and 13. So just finishing round 5, I'll do another half treble US half double crochet stitch, yarn over, pull through 3, and then there you can see you've got the traditional V at the top, 1, 2, but then you've also got this strand to the back. So moving on to round 6, we keep the right side of the blanket facing us and we join yarn D into the corner chain space, make 3 chain and work a further treble US double crochet, 2 chain and a further 2 treble US double crochet into that corner chain space. And so now we're ready to start the round where we are working into the back loops only. Another characteristic of half treble US half double crochet stitches is that at the start of the row or round it's much harder to see the stitch. So these green stitches, round 5, was made with the right side of the work facing. So the top of the stitch always sits just to the right of the post. Now you can see this one quite clearly, but here's our first half treble US half double crochet stitch, and the top of the stitch sits just to the right, much less clear to see. You have to just pull that work away, and then there looks like it's meant to be the chain, but that is in fact the top of the half treble US half double crochet stitch. So really do pay attention to crochet into the first stitch of the side, which is this one here. And so round 6 is a round of ordinary treble US double crochet stitches worked into those 1 very back loops only. So we begin by working into that very first stitch, the one that's a little bit less clear to see. If you look at the top, you can see the 2 strands much clearer, but we are going into the very 1 back loop only of that first stitch, and then work your treble US double crochet stitch as normal. And you can already see by doing that we have these 2 strands left to the front of the work, so you can already see the effect taking shape. Much easier to see the back loops in the subsequent stitches. So here's the next stitch, there's the 2 strands at the top of the stitch, and there is the 1 very back loop only, and just work your treble US double crochet stitch as normal. I'll do a few more to show you. There's the top of the stitch traditionally, and then there to the back of the work is that 1 very back loop only. And another one. And then if you look to the front of the work, you can really see that chain effect taking shape by having those 2 strands left facing the front of the work. And this is what we do all the way around. We're simply working our ordinary stitches into the 1 very back loop only. And when we get to rounds 12 and 13, the only difference is that we'll be working half treble US half double crochet stitches instead of these treble US double crochet stitches in round 6, and by doing that the stitches will be shorter, and then by doing a couple of rounds you'll see a series of sort of chain effects forming. But it's exactly the same principle, just working your stitches into that one very back loop only, which is there, like so. And another effect of working into these back loops only is that in round 6 it's going to help to flatten our work. You may have noticed the work has started to curl a little bit at the end of round 5. You can see it curling over, and now by working into these very back loops only, it's really helping to flatten out the work and flatten the border, which is obviously a desirable effect and what we want. So there you go, a very simple effect, just working into those one very back loops only. I hope you found the tutorial helpful, and thanks for watching.